no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Let's get into this Raiders mailbag presented by Autumn Abyss. If you love the shirt that I'm wearing, because what happens in Vegas started in the town, shout out to Raider Nation. If you love or you need some brand new Raider shirts that are a lot more comfortable than dry fit, head on over to autumnabyss.com and then click Join the Abyss to save 20%. Let's go to Dylan. You're first up here, my man. What is Carr's absolute ceiling on a quarterback ranking? Where's a good place to get an autographed Carr jersey? Love the show. Well, I do know the best place to get a Raiders jersey is chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. We have deals going up all the time. And then in terms of absolute ceiling on quarterback ranking, I mean, I guess I'll say number one. I mean, that's every quarterback's absolute ceiling. Do I think it can happen for Carr? Put money on it? No, I don't really think that's very likely. But if Derek can be up in that upper echelon where he can be in that MVP discussion, I mean, he was there before. Why can't he get there again? What up, B? Why is Incognito wanting Mariota in the Redbone packages? What is your take, and why do you think Incognito is seeing in the comments? I just think Incognito is trying to give a little bit more confidence to Mariota, but maybe they like what they see in this red zone package. That also doesn't mean that Derek Carr is going to come off the field. Remember that. Like, they could do something where DC and Mariota are both on the field trying to create a little bit more confusion. But if I'm Incognito and I'm saying that to me kind of sounds like you have Josh Jacobs on the field and then you have somebody like Mariota, you're probably going to run towards Incognito's side right behind him. And if they're trying to pick up a tough yard, doing a read option, I mean, that's a really hard thing to be able to cover. So that's why I think Incognito's saying that. What up, Mad Vet? Do you see the Raiders bringing in a guy to replace Young now or wait for the first round of cuts? I don't see the Raiders bringing in anybody. I know that they were hoping that Sam Young was a player that they could rely on. He started 6 games for them last year because F. Trent Brown. But I'm going to say no. I don't see them bringing in anybody as it stands right now. What up, Tyler M11? Raiders! I know you said 10-7. Has that record prediction changed at all? Keep up the work. I'm still going to stick with 10-7. And I know somebody asked me the other day, oh, Mitch, you projected the Raiders to lose to the Colts. Now they don't have Carson Wentz. When I give you my 10-win prediction, it's because a lot of crazy stuff can happen in the season. Like a lot of games that maybe the Raiders should win, they don't win. And maybe a game that the Raiders should lose, they go ahead and win. I'm just going to stick here and say 10 games. But go down in the comment section. Let me know how many games you think the Raiders are going to win this upcoming season. What up, Zornell? Appreciate you always watching the show, my man. Clean Lynn Furl is biggest lover need earn PT. Time for a trade. So Cleveland Furl, biggest lover need to earn his playing time. Time for a trade. I'm not trading Clee. You're not going to get what you're hoping to get out of him. Now, if somebody wants to offer me a day 2 pick, a second or third round pick, then I'd be a little bit more open to it. But Furl's been a good player, and he's just kind of underappreciated a little bit. I get the fact that he was drafted number 4 overall, which, let's face it, if you're talking about drafting somebody at number 4, he has been a bust in that consideration. But he is still a good defensive player and can help out this defensive line. Tuco's Tacos 69. That sounds pretty good right now. Will Nevin Lawson make the 53-man roster? So I was actually asked this question the other day, and when I said the word no, people were like, wait a minute, how is that even possible? So the reason why I'm going to go ahead and say no is because I don't think I've actually properly discussed this on past shows. When a player is suspended the first 2 games, they actually don't count against the 53-man roster. So the Raiders will keep Lawson because it's not going to count against the roster. So, they could end up keeping somebody else. But then after the 3rd week, and the perfect example of this is Nevin Lawson, literally last season where he was suspended the first game, they didn't keep him on the 53, but after that first game, then they brought him on and they ended up cutting somebody. You're going to see the exact same thing happen this year. He's going to be on the roster. He's not going to be counted against the 53, though, because he suspended that first game. So if you guys haven't already, I want you to mark in your calendar the Raiders preseason. All Saturday games, the 14th, 21st, and 28th. Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. The reason why this is important is because I'm going to be live here on the Raiders Report. We do watch party, so we're bringing tailgate style. We're trying to bring the game to you. Highlights, analysis. Now, I can't actually show the game because if I did, my YouTube channel would get shut down. But we literally have what you guys would see in terms of highlights, in terms of what's actually happening over here on screen. It's maybe a little bit hard to explain, but it's like the the play-by-play, if you will. It's called the Gamecast. That's the word I'm looking for. So we actually have the Gamecast here, but it's me breaking it down if you want something to listen to because maybe the game's not in your area. I'm going to be doing watch parties the entire season, so if you could, go ahead and subscribe. I don't want you to miss anything. Alex, what up, man? How many touchdowns will Carr get at the end of the year? So total touchdowns, my prediction for Carr in terms of passing touchdowns has been 30, 31. That extra game is going to help him. Total touchdowns, though, I'll say somewhere around 34 because I think he'll have maybe 3 rushing touchdowns this year. Ed, amazing 2021. By week 3, will we be 0-2? It's definitely a possibility, but I projected the Raiders to beat the Ravens. They could end up possibly losing to the Steelers. That's a tough game, but Raiders have a really tough schedule. But if they come out ready to rock and roll, which I am taking the Raiders to beat the Ravens, because when you historically look at Gus Bradley defenses against Lamar Jackson, against mobile quarterbacks, it actually has been a very good thing. So for that, I'm going to say the Raiders win week 1, so I'll say 1-1. Joker Johnson, just want to say what's up, Mitch, and the Raiders Report staff. Raiders! So shout out to the staff here at Chat Sports. We appreciate you, Joker Johnson. Raiders! That was Jeremy Chuggs. All right, let's go to Philip. What up, Phil? Do you think the Chiefs' new offensive line will crumble against our defensive line? So right now, all reports out of camp have actually been that they actually look halfway decent on the O-line. I also think it's because what else are they going to report? But apparently Brown, that's his name, right? Orlando Brown, thank you. I couldn't think of his first name. Was getting absolutely worked by Chris Jones recently. Though Lucas Niang sounds like he's going to be the starting right tackle. He's been having a good camp, but still pretty unproven. All right, let's go to Sean. What up, Sean? Biggest winner, Arnett. He was an afterthought prior to camp. Now Chucky is saying he's a week 1 starter. I know that Chucky was saying he's a week 1 starter, but he's probably only going to be on the field for nickel packages. And just because he's a week 1 starter, it's realistically because Nevin Lawson is going to be suspended the first game. So, he has been a winner to a certain degree, yes. But biggest winner, I can't really get on board with that. And in terms of being an afterthought, that might have been a harsh word by Vic Tafer, but in terms of week 1 starter, he could end up starting week 1 in nickel packages, but then I think once Nevin Lawson comes back, Lawson's going to go ahead and start over him. Broke boy, I honestly don't care if I have to watch the DiNucci versus Haskins, at least footballs here. So what he's talking about is the, we'll say, Thursday preseason game. It's a Hall of Fame game. If you're watching this live, it hasn't happened yet. If you watch this over the weekend, though, it will already happen. But I'm 100% with you. I'm just excited for football. Also, what I'm excited for is awesome deals and awesome Raiders gear. So if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, or if you want some brand new Raiders gear that's very, very high quality, whether it's their hoodies, whether it's their t-shirts, this stuff is better than dry fit. I am not kidding you when I say that. If you want to go ahead and get any of these shirts that you see on screen, go to autumnabyss.com, and if you're looking to save 20%, click Enter the Abyss on the front of their website. I love this Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl shirt. My favorite one, if I'm being honest with you, is probably this Charles Woodson shirt that I wore around in Vegas. I had a few people hit me up about it, but whether you see any of these shirts, please go ahead and check them out. Also, portion of the of the sales go to a certain charity. So Charles Woodson has a charity. I know Tom Flores has a charity. I know Marshawn Lynch shirt, the shirt that I'm wearing right now. Part of these proceeds go to help kids in Oakland. But basically, what makes Autumn Abyss great is it's owned by Raider fans, and part of the proceeds that they have go to charities made by Raider Nation. So go to autumnabyss.com. That link is going to be available for y'all in the comments and in the description. This next one's coming in from Sergio Ramirez, Montoya, Cortez Jr. I'm really hoping that the new defensive coordinator can get the defense right. Can this unit be a top 10 defense? Well, that is a hell of a last name, if I do say so myself. In terms of being a top 10 defensive unit, can it happen? Sure. Do I think it's going to happen yet? I probably wouldn't bet my money on it because I've been saying it for so long. But we saw the Raiders last year contend, and I'm going to rip on an ESPN analyst here who said that the Raiders can't be a contender. His name's Marcus Spears, even though nobody really values what that guy has to say anyway. He goes on to say, the Raiders can't be a contender because they're not going to be a good defense. That's what the defense was last year. He's not actually looking into consideration that Gus Bradley is just so much better than Paul Guenther, and a lot of people are. But top 10 is still a little bit of a stretch. Top 20, though, is hopefully what can happen. If they have a top 20 defense, this team probably wins 10 games this year. The _7_wise, do you see the D playing well enough for us to make the playoffs? That's really what it comes down to. Again, if they are a top 20 defense, the Raiders can make the playoffs. Let's face it, last season the Raiders had a lead 3 times, and then they gave the ball back to the defense essentially. They were leading, I believe it was by at least 3 points with 1:47, and all 3 of those games they lost, and they still finished 8-8. If the defense is decent and they don't give up those games, you're talking about an 11-5 season. We're talking much differently about this team. So can they make the playoffs? Absolutely. Ryan Min, why do you believe we will finish in the where do you believe we will finish in the AFC, and do you think we will finish at number 5 seed? So when I actually did my original projections for the Raiders, I had them coming out as the 7th seed in the wild card. So we'll see ultimately what that means for this team. But I have the Chiefs winning the division. Sorry, y'all. You can get mad at me all you want. But there's a lot of really talented teams here in the AFC. And what realistically came down for me is their game against the Ravens as a tiebreaker. I had the Ravens coming out also as a 10-7 team. So if the Raiders can win and also be 10-7, that gives them the tiebreaker. All right, Oscar, what up, man? Will Waller be the best tight end in the NFL? So tight end. All right, so I was like, wait a minute here. That's like that. No, what happened to Oscar was, I guarantee you, he went into his phone and was like, will Waller be the best tight end in the NFL? And it just spit out tight end. Guarantee that's what happened. Let me know if I'm right, Oscar. I'm still going to go ahead and say no, he's not the best tight end in the NFL. He's top 3. I'm still going to go ahead and put, Travis Kelce over him just because of what Kelce's been able to do from a longevity standpoint. And the only way that he jumps Kittle is if Kittle gets hurt again, because I'll actually say from a complete tight end standpoint, George Kittle might be the best tight end in the league. From a blocking standpoint, he's the best blocking tight end in the league. And then you also put his athletic ability, but availability is a big part of it, and he can't stay healthy. But in terms of best tight end in the league, I'll probably give it to Kelce. I'd probably put Kittle at 2, and then I put Waller at 3. All right, Dan, this defense sure seems like it's playing on a different level. And Swagger, what is your prediction for their rank? I'll say 16, 17, right in the middle of the pack. But I'm with you. They do look like they're a lot more swaggy this year. So will this defensive unit be a top 10 team? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I just said that they would be 16, so I'd actually go ahead and type N for no, though I am hoping I am very, very wrong. What up, Noah? Got the same jersey. Hey, Mitch, since Ruggs has improved, do you think his stats will improve this year compared to last year? Oh, absolutely. I mean, last season, 26 grabs, 426 yards, 2 touchdowns. I've already projected him at 726 receiving yards or 746, one of the two. But I'm still not going to say he's going to have over 1,000 yards, because historically, Carr and this Raiders team have done a very good job at being able to spread the wealth. So if you have Darren Waller, who's going to have over 1,000 receiving yards, and then if like Renfrow, Ruggs, and then John Brown can all be in that 700 receiving yard range, that to me is actually a lot more potent offense, rather than if Waller's at 1,000, if Ruggs is at 1,000, and you have all these other guys under 500. I see this team being a lot more versatile and spreading the ball out a little bit more. But yes, Ruggs is going to be a lot better. What up, Bon Hell? Mitch, what do you think about Mariota and Carr switching to confuse and make different plays? It sounds like the Raiders are going to try to implement a secret package for Mariota. The only way, though, I want him in the game is honestly if it's like 3rd and 1 and you're just trying to mix it up a little bit. At the end of the day, I want Carr on the field for the most important plays because he's the better quarterback. He gives you the best chance. But if the Raiders want to be able to run the football in a certain situation, because let's say they're just absolutely feasting on the interior defensive line, if they want to bring in Mariota and do a read option or something like that, sure. If you want to bring in a trick play once in a while, totally okay with it. Peter Porker, it seems to me under the last defensive coordinator, the Raiders didn't understand the defense at all. Will it take 1 year or more for them to get the Gus Bradley defense on track? So when I spoke to Nick Wachowski, he didn't mention any other names, but he said, like, you can already just see the relief on how much easier the Bradley system is than Paul Gunther's. The other reason why the Raiders just didn't understand is because they were a young team battling COVID in 2020. You couldn't actually work with your defensive coordinator that often. So the defense is going to be much more simple this year, and not that simple is a bad thing. It just means guys are going to know their assignment. But, yeah, FPG. All right, y'all. Who has been the biggest winner in camp so far? I'm going to ask you all this question here. Bring in a few more questions, and then I'm going to get out of here if you're watching this live. So who's been the biggest winner in camp so far? Go down in the comment section and let me know. If you're curious on who's my biggest training camp winner, I put a show out on Wednesday if you're not watching this live, so go ahead and check it out. What up, Brian? I don't even want to think about Waller on the Titans. Shake my head, laugh out loud. But do you think the offense will go spread as soon as the run game picks up steam to throw the defense off? you're going to see the Raiders do a lot of different types of personnel. And I did a show probably like a month ago, Brian, if you want to go check it out, on the amount of percentages the Raiders ran, like 12 personnel, 13 personnel, 21, 22 personnel. If you don't know what that means, go check out the video. But you're going to see the Raiders spread the ball out a lot this year, and you're going to see them try to spread the defense out as well. But if they go 5 wide, Waller's going to be on the field. You just can't take Waller off. Let's go to Prove One. What games do you think will be our toughest games, not including the Chiefs? I mean, week 1. It starts week 1. The Ravens is definitely going to be a really, really tough game. I could see the Steelers being a very tough game for us. The Bears, not so much. I'm just trying to go through the schedule in my head. The Dolphins, if Tua can get his shit together, that Dolphins team could actually give us a lot of trouble. The Chargers are an up-and-coming team as well, but I'm just going to stick here and give you a very coach answer and say, let's worry about week 1 against the Ravens Monday Night Football, and let's worry about the Steelers week 2. Those so far are going to be our 2 toughest games. Now, if I didn't get to your question, blame Jeremy. You can hit him up on Twitter at JIBeadling. But if you want to hit me up on IG, you guys know where to find me by now. If you're new to the show, just remember, we go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. But obviously, the easiest way to get in touch with me personally is by hitting me up on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365.